ironically enough, I wanted to do some bricks, and I really wanted to do it. I had the official. Both times he had to cancel on me, and then we were going to do it on Monday, and apparently the gym was being taken over by the acrobatic team or something like that, so we couldn't get on. Yesterday I had a dog vet visit. So anyways, Craig said, hey, why don't we just do tough calls? So I said, great. So he sent me some tough calls. I just chose some. You guys want to throw some in? This is just our last meeting. Thought we'd have some fun with it, and we just talk about it. I want you guys to take control. I don't want to take control as to what I think it is. I want you guys to just tell me what you guys think. Craig, let's hear it.
All right, give me one more second. I'm going to post a link to this YouTube video in the chat, so that way if it's too laggy for someone, they could follow along with that. So give me about 30 seconds.
Yeah, and again, let me put a disclaimer out there that in no way are we trying to make any referee look bad. We're just trying to learn here, obviously. There's no ill will against anyone, so we're just trying to look at things that have happened. Just as you know, I put myself out there, and I don't care. We try to learn. So I think what Craig's doing is sending you guys the link so you guys can follow along, so it doesn't lag and you guys can see it real time, and maybe have some discussion about. There it is.
All right, and then my screen is up right now. You're seeing the Big 12 and ESPN logo, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll play them through and then rewind them. We got 9 clips.
Yeah.
Saying about the change in tone from Ukraine.
So I think the question here was whether that was an escape.
This is a White House that is often
Or not, and what would you call if you were the official? And obviously the official called 1 escape and 2 takedown. What would you have called? So let's start by saying, you know, who thinks that's an escape? Okay, so I hear crickets.
Yeah.
With hearing crickets, I'm assuming that no one thinks that's an escape.
Jeremy says escape takedown.
Anybody else think it's an escape? Oh, we got.
Mm-mm.
We got Kevin, no change. Leo, no change.
Can we get an explanation as to why the folks think it's an escape and a takedown?
All right, so Jeremy, if you can explain yourself, please.
Yeah, I mean, I see green from my perspective as given up, pushed away here. We have a separation. Red is on a retake where he has tapped the head to do a setup and then shot in. So with that, I justify that as a complete break from green having control, giving 1 the escape, and then an attack in for a takedown.
Okay, fair enough. Leo, I'll go to you. Why do you think it's not a change?
Yeah, I just felt like the defender didn't have enough time to really defend himself. I mean, it was just quick and a shot like right away and stuff. So I just don't have enough for a change. I wouldn't give a reversal in this situation, so that's why I don't have a change.
Okay. Before I go to Kevin, does anybody else think it's a escape? Please don't be afraid, guys. It's okay to not be perfect. None of us here are perfect by any means. So don't be afraid to communicate. If you think it is an escape, then let's talk about it. And if you think it's not an escape, let's talk about it as well.
Angel, I'm paying attention to the defensive wrestler with his right hand holding on to the right hand of the offensive wrestler.
Hey, Brian. Brian?
Yes,
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you think it is an escape?
I'm saying no,
Okay,
because he's controlling the right hand of the offensive wrestler who appears to be trying to yield and escape, but I don't think there's separation there.
okay. Kevin, anything?
I mean, just similar to Leo's reason and also what Brian had to say, it kind of incorporates both of those things. I just don't think that the defensive wrestler got himself into a defensible position beyond reaction time.
Yeah, so I agree with the three guys, and I want to be extremely honest that I don't think in the position where the referees is, he can't see that the arm is still controlled. We have that ability to run it in slow motion, but from first seeing it, I'm thinking, hey, listen, you know what? He didn't even have reaction time to be able to protect himself. So that's in my mind, I think what I would have done, I would have said Green still in control. And eventually, if you let it go on, I think it's a takedown and an escape. And at the end of the day, it would have just been an escape for Red. Craig, do you have it going all the way to the edge?
Yeah, so Red, who was on bottom, is rewarded the escape, and then he also ends up in rear standing for a hand touch takedown, I believe. My stance on this is no escape. Let's just imagine that they're in this exact position that they're paused in, and Green started on top, West Virginia, in the pink singlet, and he reshoots in. You know, like, has Red now had enough time to defend himself?
So Jeremy, just, and thank you, Jeremy, for coming out and at least speaking your mind. I think the consensus is here that there wasn't enough time to react to be able to protect yourself. And that's why I think the majority of us, or if not all of us, have said that it wouldn't have been a escape takedown.
Okay, on to clip number 2.
Okay. Yep. All right, good one.
Are you asking if it's a kickback on this one?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so my question is, first, did we meet the criteria of the first? Did we meet the first criteria? The first criteria,
Is
somebody
both-
tell me the first criteria of a
both feet have
kickback?
to- both feet have to leave the mat.
Did we meet that criteria? Keep it going,
No.
Craig.
No, you didn't meet it.
Okay, Craig, keep it going.
In that second view, right here, it looks like he leaves both feet.
Not at the same time.
He's up at the same time right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different view. Yeah.
Okay. So then what's the second criteria, Aaron?
He has to touch. And he does touch 100%. I've seen the touch from the other view.
Okay.
But
I
he
couldn't
has to-
see the
he has to-
leaving the feet from
He
the
has
other
to
view.
touch before his foot replants. So does his
Correct.
right foot replant before contact is made?
This is Garth. For me, I'm not going to split hairs in that situation to say that, yeah, he touched before he made contact. I mean, for me, this is a kickback.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he touches and he comes off both feet clearly there. That's too close to call of did he touch before it hits the mat or not. I would go illegal.
Let me ask you guys something. Where do you think he's touching? Where are you seeing the touch?
His right leg touches the left ankle right there of the bottom wrestler. is where the touch would be. You could see the toe barely.
But his foot is on the mat.
Yeah, it's close. Does it touch before or not? I mean, it's a split timing.
So, Craig, what was the call here?
I was on the mat for this I was the second for Eric on this. We did not call anything here. We looked at each other and we were both good with it.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it was challenged or not.
Sorry, Kevin?
I said I can't remember if it was challenged or not, but regardless, it was not called illegal either way.
It looks like his heel hits the mat before it hits the leg. So again, if you would review this, if it would even go to independent review, they would probably just leave the call on the mat stand, is my opinion.
Yeah, I think, Scotty, I think Eric and I looked at this on our own because it was close.
So I don't know if you guys can see as clearly as I can, but if you look at the part of his leg that kind of hyperextends or flexes first, it appears him being green, that Green's ankle area is what stops motion first. So I would infer that Green's heel has been planted on the mat at that point, and then one frame later is when his toe appears to kind of meet resistance, and so that's when my inference is that his toe has now made contact with Red's ankle.
Now, we can all agree that this one's really tight, right? And I think Scott said it best. If unless you made the call, it'd be difficult to change it either way. Right? All right.
Can we see it again in regular speed?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
So there's, Craig, you know what was called here? That's one of the things I wanted to ask you. I don't know, some of these, I didn't know what was called.
Yeah, and the officials are intentionally cut out to make our own calls. If you want me to share, I can share right now.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. Let it run and let's let everybody think that what they think it is and what it should be. All right, so it looks like that could have been 1, 2, and 1. Does anybody have 1, 2, and 1?
I don't have an escape there initially.
Green.
I have an escape at the or loss of control at the very end from,
Yeah.
but I don't have anything until they go right over here, and then I just got a loss of control. That's where I get loss of control right there is the very end.
Okay, so hey, we got 18 guys here. Does anybody have anything they want to say about are we saying that it's all escape at the end, or are we saying is there an escape right there? Somewhere around here.
No escape.
For me, no escape there just because the red wrestler's head is buried. He's really not defensible.
And Garth, I think that I would concur with that, that he can't really defend himself.
Yeah, I got one escape at the end. That's it.
Yeah, and you see the brick come out, so maybe they thought it was an escape somewhere in there, or it was an escape and then a takedown called. Like what? Because there's a brick come at the very end, and it's interesting. I only have a loss of control at the end.
Right, what was called?
So he gives an escape somewhere around here. And then he goes on to call it rear standing hand touch. And then he also gives the escape, right, or loss of control here. I'm about 90% sure they go back and review this and they wipe away that first escape and therefore wipe away the takedown.
Yeah. And wipe away everything, basically. Okay, cool. All right, next.
I think it's super important to remain patient in these little scrambles because you throw up points too quick and then you go back and you review
Yeah.
and then everything gets wiped out. And then
You
everyone's
just took- Yeah, you just took 4 points away.
Yeah, that's a tremendous point that Scott just made. It's always, and Tim pounds this into our heads every year, but it's always better to be a half second or a second later than it is the other way, because you can fix things a lot easier if you're late.
And guys, I know that Tim has said that, and it may, and it is. Listen, when we're in the trenches, you got to make 18,000 decisions and come up with one of them. So, you just got to be, how do you get that? How do you get that? That way, I guess, is, mat time. Be able to see everything that goes on and continue to see in repetition so that you can be patient.
I just checked my notes. They did change the call on the mat after review to no escape. So they put Arkansas Little Rock back down.
Okay. That's a good one. So the question is, do we have two or not? Who would give two?
I would.
I
I'm
got 2
giving
takedowns. I got 3 takedowns.
another takedown.
I
Takedown.
would call a takedown there.
Would anybody not call it a takedown? I'm assuming with the crickets, then we are good. Everybody says we have a takedown. I agree. Definitely takedown.
Mhm.
And I think that's probably Coleman Scott right there with the sneakers. All right. Okay, I remember this one. This is a good one too. All right, so the question is, run it, go back, Craig, please. Run it at full speed.
Oh, sorry. And then there's a second angle too.
There is, okay.
Mhm.
So question is this a takedown?
For me, it's takedown there, but not before.
You're looking for the first one, this one right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, they go out of bounds before. If a takedown was not initially called, they go out of bounds before the rear standing hand touch takedown is secured. So it's
Yeah.
just it's a question of reaction time on this initial interaction.
Yeah, this is a super good clip here.
Mhm.
Man, here's my opinion on it. I think whatever you call on the mat is going to stand. And everybody's reaction time is a little bit different, but to me, this guy reacts twice. And if he's getting 2 reactions, then I'm leaning towards a takedown in that case, because he goes to his butt and then he turns over and goes to both hands and then he comes up to his feet. But
agree.
I could see it going the other way too.
I agree with you, Kevin, and I also agree with, like, if you said nothing, I think it would be hard for the committee, the review committee to overturn that call.
I mean, because the place that I think it gets close to a takedown is right there when he quad pods up, is where it gets close. Because I agree with you, the reaction time on this move right here, yeah, you got to give reaction time. The question on the quad pod would be, does he really have rear standing control to count that as a hand touch? And I don't.
That would not count as a hand touch, just so you know, because this
Correct.
action technically started on the mat.
So then I
So-
would say, yeah, and that's what I'm thinking is, so, you know, in those retrospects, I would see where there's not enough reaction, or he didn't meet reaction time enough. I don't know.
Angel, what say you?
I think that it was not a takedown, and here's why. One, reaction time. It's I just look at it as it goes, but if we slow it up, that left arm, even, okay, go back. So he's in between the legs right there. He's only has one leg, and then that left arm doesn't really have control until the arm, his left arm, the guy on the bottom.
Yep.
They're both left arms. See his arm coming in? That's when he has control, and that arm, the bottom man's arm is coming up.
Correct.
So again, I called it no takedown the very first time I saw it. And it just tells me that even more right there. And then at the very end, I think Craig is right. I think they went out of bounds from my view, even though I don't have the cylinder view, that they went out of bounds before.
Yeah, they're out, I think.
From that angle, I just think they're out. And plus, go back, Craig. Rewind it backwards. Back. Rewind it. Okay, keep going. No, go back to that takedown at the very end. See, that's a better angle right there, as to having control while the man's hand is down. And then again, I think that's again, I don't have the view that the official would have on the left-hand side, but I think from my view here, I don't have control in the, I'm sorry, inbounds on the takedown at the very end.
Do we know what the call on the mat was?
So it was a takedown. I was second official right after they go out of bounds because they did not secure the reaction time. I swang by and I wasn't clear. I said, "Are you good on that?" He must have misunderstood me because when we talked about it in the locker room, he wasn't like he didn't get what I was saying. And I think watching it, I would have been comfortable saying call stands. And I imagine that he probably would have felt the same way too.
Okay.
So did you, where did you have the takedown and you felt comfortable on that, since you was there in the action?
Yeah, I mean, it was a question of the first go, is this beyond reaction time? And it's ultimately the lead official's definition of reaction time because they're using his reaction time for the entire duel.
Correct.
So if he had it then, I mean, I didn't see anything on the video that would make me think that this was an egregious error or anything like that.
No.
Pitt does turn down with both hands, which is kind of a concession of position and can yield shorter reaction time. This is kind of a, all right, I'm bailing on anything I had and moving forward. So that could definitely support a quicker reaction time.
I agree with the logic there though. Yeah. So the explanation. Okay. Thank you.
Craig likes to use big words.
No,
A great
I got all that. I think Matt and Kevin talk about kind of bailing on it and conceding and a little shorter reaction time on those situations.
Okay. Yeah.
So we all steal our ideas from someone else.
So something that was said, we have several championship officials here, and you guys will do regionals this weekend. Just make sure you communicate with your second as to what it means to say, "Are you good with that?" I've had some unclarity as well with some D1 officials. And to be clear, I've told them, listen, when I ask you a question, do you have it? I don't want an explanation. I need to know yes or no. Very basic, yes or no. And if you want to talk about it, you say, let's talk about it. Right? Do you have it? I saw this, I saw yes or no. We got to get this match going. Right? All right, go ahead. Oh, you got another one of these. Huh? Okay. So here we go. Let's see. So Warren's iPhone, what do you think? We haven't heard from you today. Okay. All right, he doesn't want to talk. Scott Brooks.
I got no takedown there, no control, beyond reaction.
Okay. Patrick Frank. Nothing. Patrick just wants credit for being here, I think. Kevin.
Warren hi. By the way, Warren just texted me and said his Zoom is acting a little sketchy. That's why he didn't respond. I do not have a takedown here. I do not have control beyond reaction time.
How about Kevin Mastropaio?
No takedown there.
Does anybody think it's a takedown?
No.
Craig Blakely thinks it's a takedown.
No, I don't.
Aaron Merrill.
I love how you say that, but yeah, no, Moro. No takedown.
All right, cool. We're in consensus. All right. Let's go on to the next one.
I have no idea how, I don't know if it's showing up on your screen how this red line got here. I guess I accidentally did some play-by-play breakdown.
I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. All right. Let's see. Toby, what do you think, buddy?
I'll be honest with you. Mine's kind of sketchy, so I really couldn't tell. It's kind of pixelated or something.
Okay. Scott Brooks, what do you think?
I'm kind of having the same issue here. It's a little choppy for me to get a good handle on it.
All right, mine's all right. This is Josh Smith. Mine's choppy as well, but something about it tells me it's a takedown.
If you guys click on the YouTube link and then go to a minute 29 of that YouTube video, you'll be able to see it unbuffered.
For those of you that don't see it choppy, what do you guys think? Blankenship.
I'm choppy too. If it were live real time like that, the way they bounce down, he's covering the hips. If I'm assuming that it's not choppy, that there's enough there for control, and then he pops up.
All right, guys. We do this for education, so please go to the chat and download the link. That way we can have some discussion, so that you guys can see it live as well. That'd be helpful.
For the record, I do not have a takedown here, Angel.
Say that again.
I said, for the record, I do not have a takedown here. It's not enough control beyond reaction time. I watched this match live and I didn't like it then either.
I was thinking, yeah, if we started out they started in neutral, correct?
Correct. Yeah, this is a takedown situation from neutral.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as the last clip. He covers the hips, but it is not reaction time. No way.
I would agree with you there, Mr. Morrow.
Yeah, I just watched it on YouTube, and I agree. I don't believe it was a takedown beyond reaction time.
More in this clip than the Arkansas Little Rock wrestler did, but I still don't have enough for a takedown beyond reaction time.
Anybody else? Paul's iPhone. Paul, is that Paul Kraus? I think it's Paul Kraus. I thought I saw Paul Kraus. Okay.
I was able.
Let's move on.
This is Butch. I was able to look at it.
What was that?
This is Butch. I was able to look at it on YouTube and seeing it in like real time. I could see where they bounce, and he covers hips, but it's not beyond reaction time. He bounces right back up to his feet and then gets separation. So no takedown.
I'd say no takedown at this point too, after seeing it a few times. Yeah.
What was the call on the mat?
My notes.
Kevin, do you remember?
I believe a takedown was given here.
Yeah, Kevin's right.
And I can easily see why a takedown was given. When Iowa State covers, you see a clear pause with the defending wrestler, and he has to change his direction to get movement away, because he has a cinch around that left arm as well when they hit the mat, and he's covering the hips. So love the additional artwork as well.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know. All right, on to the next clip.
Is that your daughter drawing on the screen? All right, so what's the question here?
Do you got a
Whether it was
takedown? Mm-hmm. There's multiple angles here too.
I really like this hold. I think you guys did a good job. No control.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
brother
agree.
Scotty. My man.
Does anyone think it's a takedown?
No.
Jeremy
No.
says no. Somebody says good burn.
No
No takedown.
take.
I say no.
Yeah, I agree. No takedown here. Good call.
Sure, NC State wanted 2 and 2.
They always do, Scotty.
Well, the interesting thing is, NC State's coach goes to the table and he has a brick at this point, but chooses not to use it. So I think deep down, he probably felt that it wasn't a takedown, but was out there advocating.
All right, cool. Next.
So look at the clock here. There's going to be 2 angles. So just, you got to pay attention to the clock and control.
No.
I have nope. He doesn't have control by the time the clock.
Yeah, I agree. Time's expired by the time he gets control.
His control is right.
There's zeros.
No control there. It's after the clock.
Yeah.
He gets
Agreed. No
control right
takedown.
here where he checks him, right there.
Yeah, they like wrestling at the edge.
Oh God, this match.
All right, cool. All right, I think we're good with that one. Time is off. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Want to take off sharing screen? Where am I? All right, hey guys, that concludes our videos for the year. I think Mr. Craig and I have talked about this a little bit. Next year, probably we'll do it every 2 weeks. That way we have some time. I wanted to get as much info out there, but I wrote this for everybody, right? Don't change now. Stay tight, right? Just make sure you continue to do what you've been doing all year and implement the things that you've learned. And communication. Remember, if you're a second, your job is that clock, and that clock. All right. Well, with that said, thank you all for joining me every single Wednesday that I could make it. I appreciate you guys being consistent about that. I know that some of you or a lot of you have, a lot of other people have matches that are going on, high school matches, and that's why they couldn't be here. But hey, regardless, I appreciate everybody's continued efforts on making it and listening to what I have to say. And we'll continue it next year. Again, we'll do much better job with MSWA as next year comes in. The board will be meeting after nationals, and we'll move from there. All right.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
that's it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Have a great
Angel.
close season, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Craig.
Thanks.